This map looks normal. Only 20 years have passed and everything looks pretty average. Until you realize I managed to get all of the Kalmar Union and Novgorod as Norway, not as Denmark. Wanna know how did I do it? Let's jump in. So there we are as Norway, and the first thing we have to check is the Danish rivals and enemies. We got to have there at least Poland and either Burgundy or Bohemia. If there are more, like England and Lithuania, well then it's fine, but we don't need them. So we'll go and ask Lithuania and England to support our independence, because we can't ask Burgundy and Poland because they cannot reach Denmark, but not to worry, because we'll get them anyway, because of some Norwegian mission. Now, we have to summon the diet and click on this one, on the proposal of the burghers, no matter if it's possible for you to do or not. If it's not, just like in this case, grant them monopoly rights, click on the decision, revoke, and seize land. Then normal state setup, religious state, oversight by the clergy, religious diplomats, clerical education, nothing for the nobility because they have these two debuffs, land of commerce, patronage of the arts, debt to the burghers, free enterprise, and burghers for draft. Click on this, and yeah, now it's time to get cheap advisors. Pick whichever suits you best. In my case, I recommend taking the improved relations and never pick a land for limit modifier, because you won't be able to complete this mission if you do. Now we have to send a score for insult to Denmark and start improving relations with Poland and with Burgundy. Once we've done this, we can start spying on Novgorod. Now you may ask, if we are going to get every rival and enemy of Denmark as a supporter, why did we ask England and Lithuania? Well, because now Sweden cannot ask them. Well, they can, but they are most likely not going to help Sweden unless Sweden goes up to 100% Liberty Desire and clicks on their mission. Then, yeah, they will. So now what we have to do is to pay attention to that and mothball our forts and lower army maintenance. As you can see, we are very poor. Yeah, now just wait. If Sweden asks you to ally them, just reject the alliance. We do not want to ally Sweden, we want to fight Sweden from the day one. More on that later. There is it, we need Poland to get the Jagiellon event and to take Lithuania as a PO. Why? Because we want to fight Muscovy. But we need Muscovy to fight Novgorod first. This happens most of the times anyway. As you can see, England has started supporting the independence of Sweden, so we have to keep an eye on this, because if England and Sweden declare on Denmark before we do, then we will be stuck at a war against them, and this is something we don't want to happen. You will sometimes get this event early. This just means you can get this guy. It's a level 2 very cheap advisor. Now, once our Novgorodian spy network is on 20, we can make a claim on Kola and start improving relations with maybe England, maybe Lithuania. Well, they are not free anymore, so yeah, with England. Or whoever you have gotten, maybe you have gotten Bohemia or Brandenburg or even the Teutonic Order, whatever you've gotten. Now we are about to reach 100 relations with Burgundy, so it's time to stop mothballing our forts, hire a free company, and getting our army maintenance up again. Now we have to get this as general in order to be able to get this. Now we are at 100% with the Danish rivals and enemies, so it's time to get this mission. Usually we would pick either the manpower option or the ducats option, but since we are also fighting Sweden on the first war, we need as much help as possible. So yeah, there we have Burgundy and Poland helping us. England refuses to aid us, but they were already doing it anyway, so yeah. Now it's time to declare. There is it. And now we have to click on this, Liberty for Norway, and start current favors with Poland. Start also improving relations again with Burgundy and with Poland, because as soon as we finish this war, we are going to strike on Novgorod. For the war, you should be moving your armies to Trondelag. Why is this? Because, yeah, the Danish armies are stronger than yours, so we need to hide behind our forts, at least for now. At some point, you will also get this mission. It will give you maps to Greenland, which are not very useful right now, but they will also give you this explorer, which is a very decent explorer actually. So yeah, there is it. Muscovy has declared on Novgorod, so this means as soon as we beat these guys, we will be able to vassalize Novgorod. Why is this? Why do we want to do this? Well, because if we vassalize Novgorod, we can then have claims on Muscovy, get help from Poland and Lithuania in order to beat Muscovy, and we'll have a very big base power. We'll have a big vassal with very decent trade power in both Novgorod and White Sea. We can divert the trade power, and yeah, we can also get war reps from Muscovy, and yeah, we will need those war reps. If you are getting sieged, of course, remember using your defensive edict and move your ships right there to make it harder for them to siege down. As soon as you can, please start piecing out the Danish allies. Ideally, ask them for war reps, because yeah, you need war reps, as I said before. Now, whenever you are able to do so, just sue for peace, take war reps, grant independence, and take Dalaskogen. Dalaskogen is a very strong province because of all the money it gives. Sweden was actually one of the strongest powers during their time because of Dalaskogen. Like half of the copper used in all of Europe was produced there in Dalaskogen. So now it's time to get our Miltech 4, declare Novgorod, and then mark as a rival. You could maybe do Scotland too. Now that Novgorod has been beaten by Muscovy, it's time to declare on them. They're very easy to beat. Once you can, make Dalaskogen a full state and a core. On the meantime, during the war, improve relations with Muscovy, not because we want to ally them, we are actually going to fight them right now, but to ask them for mill access. Why is this? Because Novgorod tends to hide half of their army right there. Once you get this province, you should be able to just vassalize them. Close enough. You'll also see the pop-up saying you can actually call Poland for this war, but don't do it. What you need to do is to save those favors, because you're going to call Poland for the next war, not for this one. Once you finish sieging Novgorod down, move your troops to Muscovy, just for them to get exiled, vassalize Novgorod, and now it's time to declare on Muscovy. Just declaring them for the reconquest of whatever, probably Rzew, and calling Poland. With this, you'll just win the war very, very easily. But yeah, you should maybe seize land before doing the war. Also, make Muscovy a rival before starting. Once you complete your second state agenda from the burghers, you can go and select this, the mountain expansion privilege. If we develop the Renaissance, if you choose doing it, you should do it on Bergen. So there we are going to take the reconquest Casus Belli for the reconquest of Kolm, call in Poland, and let them do their magic, because they'll win this war alone. Once you finish fighting your rebels though, you should go and try help Poland. Not because they can't win alone, but to make it quicker. If you get this event that gives you a castle somewhere, do not accept it while they are sieging the province, because if you do, yeah, they'll just siege the castle down in a single tick. Hold the event a bit. And once you have finished sieging down the province, you can click it. Norway has some of these events. Now that we have 2 forts, we can click on this. Now our forts are cheaper, and we've got a cheap advisor, which we can pay now, but yeah, we took a loan, then yeah, it's fine. Well, this is unexpected, because we got the Burgundian succession. If you do get it that soon, well then, congrats, I guess. I'm going to Alt F4 again for the sake of the guide, because yeah, it would be unfair making a guide saying, and now you guys got Burgundian succession, it's time to make Denmark our PU. It's not fair, so let me just make a quick Alt F4. And yeah, there we are back without the Burgundian succession. For our tier 2 cover reform, we are going to take court and noble privileges. Now it's even more important than ever, because we want to revoke the 2 privileges. Now, by the time you siege down Moscow, you should be able to do the peace deal we want, which is giving our vassal Novgorod every core they had, and take war reps and some money. We won't get much money, but every penny counts, I guess. Also, now our truce with Denmark has run out, so it's time to fight them. We will need the help of everyone, so we'll try to call in, yeah, everyone. Burgundy, England and Poland. If we do, we will get both Sweden and Denmark at the same time. But we have to focus Sweden, because if we don't, they will declare for independence war against Denmark. So yeah, this is our goal, guys. Let's move our troops, stabilize a bit, and then declare. Also, we can make Dalasco in our capital and start developing it, because yeah, we could have taken admin 5 and then go exploration, but Norway is so poor to colonize that soon. Even if we got the ideas, we wouldn't have the money to colonize. Like, look at our income. All the income we're getting is from the Muscovite war reps, and it's not even that much. So it's time to dev that's going up. At least we are on Miltech 5 though. Now if Poland didn't start fighting the Teutonic Order, it would be the right time to declare. so we'll have to wait a bit. In the meantime, we can start lowering autonomy everywhere. Okay, now that Poland has finished their war, it's time to declare on Denmark. Okay. Let me ask these guys to prepare for war. And now it's time to declare on Denmark for the restoration of Union. Remember, we have to focus on defeating Sweden. Also, by that time, if we lower our inflation, because our inflation will be higher after so many loans, we won't be on deficit anymore. At least not so much as before. So yeah, that means not only we are about to conquer all of Scandinavia, but also we have stabilized our economy. Again, remember piecing out the Danish allies as soon as possible. Same goes for the Teutonic Order, which is the last. Just do this, let Poland take it, and yeah. And now we should be able to click there. Maybe take money if you want. Like, you won't get much anyway. Oh, for some reason Denmark has inherited Munich. So yeah, we might just peace out right now anyway. This shouldn't happen in your game, but if it does, well, you've now got 3 PUs instead of 2. Never hurts, I guess. So, well, there we are. A bit more than 20 years have passed, but that's because of all the random RNG we've got. We've got to wait for so many truces and for so many of our allies. But still, with all that bad RNG, we managed to get Novgorod, Sweden, and Denmark on top of Munich, which isn't important and not reliable at all anyway. As subjects, well, while not on a very big deficit, and well, from now on, you should focus on conquering Scotland. Like, they are allied with France, but you can just declare the war for Sutherland or something. Yeah, for Sutherland. You could call in England, but you don't really need to call them in, because you can just fight Scotland invading from Orkney, and as long as you don't let the French raid you, like disembark on Norway, you will be completely fine, because they won't get mill access to do all this round. After this, what goes? Well, completing this mission. You've really got to complete this mission. This is what fixes the economy. You will start making big money once you finish this, because all of these useless trade goods like fish and more fish and more fish and food, even naval supplies, will be changed for iron and copper, and your capital, no longer a capital, a cursus, will become a gold mine. With all this money, now you will be able to go down on this part of the mission tree and start colonizing. You should move 3 of your infantry to this province in order to complete, where is it? This mission, I think. Yeah, the colony of Greenland. Once you do, you will get these 2 provinces instantly colonized. Well, they'll start a frontier with 400 colonizers for no money, and as soon as this finishes, you can instantly start colonizing all of America. After that, well, as I always say, once 20 years have passed, the game is pretty much sandbox, so it's up to you what to do now, guys. With all this being said, see you on the next one.